Hi guys, we're back to Friday again, so we're back to stretching with me. My plan for today is to continue on the splits work that we did last week. Last week I did lots of static and dynamic lunge and stretching. So this week what I'm going to look at is using some equipment throughout the house that you should all have handy to continue this. So my kind of focus this week was on walkovers, but again, this can also help your general skills as well for leg flexibility and shoulder flexibility. So I'll talk you through some of the bits of equipment I'm going to use. You can see I've got 2 chairs here today, so I'm going to use both of these. I'm going to use the wall that's behind me. I've got my cord on my dressing gown handy. I've got a wee pile of small soft blocks. I've got yoga blocks. You can use what you like, pile of cushions, it's up to you. And I've got a slide book. What am I using? I've got Mary Berry's cookbook, but you could use a magazine, anything, because I have carpets, I need something that'll make me slide. If you're on like laminate, a towel, a cushion would be just as suffice to use, so that's completely fine. So yes, before we get started, it's really important, guys, that we are stretching after every single Zoom session that we do. Your Zoom sessions will start to picking up and building back up again, because I don't see us getting back to the gym this month. So really important that you maintain and stay consistent with your stretching. So if you've had a really heavy leg conditioning session on your Zoom, make sure you stretch your main muscles off after it, because your muscles will start to tighten and shorten, and you want to make sure that when they grow back strong, they don't grow back tighter. So you need to make sure that you stretch them off, whether that's just a really quick quads, hamstring stretch, your glutes and your shoulders, something general. It can be done in about 4 or 5 minutes, but yes, stretch them off, really important. So, as I said, if you're reflecting on lockdown goals and you're thinking you want to look at your splits, I'm going to look at that today. I'm going to take points in today's session where I can be like, pause, go and take a picture of your splits now, and then show you all the exercises we can use to improve them. So, yes, before we get started, that's one more thing I meant to say, is I would invest in a roller. If you have a roller at home, I'm going to show you some exercises that you can use either after your Zooms or before you start your split stretching, just to activate those muscles a wee bit more. I'm going to, normally around 60 seconds is fine for rollering. So if you've got one handy, you can do it in this session. If you don't, you can just fast forward a minute, and then we should be back to doing normal stretches. I mean, they are quite cheap. I think Lidl and Aldi even have them going, sometimes in that magic middle aisle. But if not, you can get them online really quite cheaply. But they're good to invest in if you're going to continuously be doing conditioning at home. It helps you massage out those sore muscles. So let's get going to start with. So as I said, we're going to start off with splits. I have loads and loads and loads of exercises, so I'm going to keep checking down at my notes and rearranging my room. But anyway, bear with me. So yes, this week I'm going to go through the kind of lunge stretches we did last week, just to warm my legs up, and I'm going to get going using with equipment. So to start us off with, I'm going to do like a screening. So I'm going to stretch out my splits. I'm going to use the line of my mat. I'm going to slide into them. This is where you can take a picture if you want. If not, then just ignore that part. But anyway, let's get started. Let me just clear my space a wee bit more. So I'm going to start off with just a basic lunge. So I'm going to put my right leg forward, nice and straight to start with. I'm going to bend the knee and I'm going to press the hips forwards. Remember, we're holding these stretches for about 10 or so seconds. Good. I'm going to put my hands down on the floor. I'm going to straighten the back leg. Good. I'm going to pop it back down again. I'm going to straighten my leg and fold over. Good. And then I'm going to go forwards, but I'm going to bring my back leg up as high as I can. Remember, you can hold on to something if you want, or you can get both those hands back to keep your hips nice and square facing forwards. Cool, pop that leg back down, sit on the back leg, flex the toe, fold over. Good. These are nice stretches that you should probably continually do when we get back to the gym, because just lunging forwards and back isn't enough. So let's just maybe get into the routine of doing these new ones. So let's use this line on my mat. So I'm going to put my front heel in the top corner. I'm going to put my back foot, my back knee on the line, and I'm going to slide down. Good. Making sure my pinky toe at the back is on the floor. And I'm sitting up nice and tall. Good. So that's where then you would take a picture of your splits. So if you are up off the floor, obviously you're going to try and focus on getting closer to the floor. If you're like me and you can get down in your splits, then you're just wanting to try and hold it a bit longer and make the sitting in the splits more comfortable. So maybe write down a time that you want to do next week. If you want to hold for 10 seconds, then 20, then 30, and make it bigger each week alongside doing your splits. So let's just stretch off the other leg. So hips are forwards. Good, hands down, back leg off. Good, and straighten the leg. Good, drop the hips forwards again. Again, hold on to something if you need to. If not, back heel off. 2 hands back. Oh, there we go. This one will stretch both your quads and your hip flexor. So a double whammy. Lovely. Pop that back down. Sit on the back leg. Flex the toe and fold over. Good. Remember when we're folding over, we're not wanting to be in a big crunch like this. You want to press your hips, your chest through, leading with your belly button and folding over. Good. Out we come. Right, so next leg to check. If you're taking a picture, take a picture, pause. If not, let's just slide into them to see where we're at. Good. Staying on the line. Down we go. Hands off if you can, hands off. Good. And out we come. So again, if you're like me, again, I'd be focused on trying to make my hips more square on this one and maybe holding it for a bit longer so that I'm more comfortable in the stretch. So some exercises that we can do. First off, what I'm going to use is these chairs, okay? And you can use a bed, you can use a couch, but I'm just going to use the chairs because they're here and I can't be bothered rearranging everything for you. So let's just get it started. I'm going to pop my 2 chairs down. Oh, watch me not sliding on my mat. Putting them right beside each other so there's no gaps. Good. So as you can see here, I'm going to lie on this bit and I'm going to put my leg out straight this way. So I'm lying down here. What we're going to focus on is this hamstring muscle at the back. So the leg that I'm not using is straight, tight knee, toe pointed down to the ground. I'm going to lift my other leg, clasp my hands behind, and give my leg a wee tug towards me. Good. My toe is pointed, even though you can't see it. It's pointed right to the ceiling, the knees pressed out. My hands are behind, and I'm trying to get my head along the bed if you're using a bed. I'm feeling the stretch. Pop that leg down, try the other one. Good, and down we come. So those 2 stretches I would do twice on each leg, again holding for about 30, maybe not 30, 20 seconds I would hold that stretch for. So we've done this one. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my cookbook. Mary Berry's going to come and help me. So you can use a magazine, a cushion, what's the word? Table, whatever you like. But what I'm going to do now is make a gap between my 2 chairs. So I'm going to move my roller out of the way. And then I'm going to move this one to here. And then I'm going to move this one to here. So there's enough room for me now to fit in the middle of these 2 chairs. I'm going to put my cookbook at the front for my front leg. I'm going to make sure there's enough room for my other leg to go behind me. So I'm going to use the chairs to help me lower down into the stretch. Okay, doke. So I'm going to put my hands on either side, my straight leg out, and slide into the stretch. So you're using the chairs to help you keep propped up. Hips are square. And I'm sitting into the stretch. Good, and come back up again. So you're sliding down and sliding back up. So we're going to go down again, as far as you can. Hold for a few seconds and come back up again. And we're going to go once more again. So my hands are on the chair, sliding down. And come back and up, swapping legs over. Let's go other leg on the book now. I know you can't see it, but it's there. Hands on the mat, on the chairs, and slowly sliding down. You're not wanting to squint your hips out to make this stretch. You're wanting to stay still as you can, and coming back up again. Good, 2 more times. So back down, and back up, and then 1 more time. Hold this one maybe a wee bit longer. And out we come. Fabulous. So you've done both legs, stretched them out. You can do it 5 times, you can do it 10 times, up to yourself. But that one is good to keep your hips straight and square. Okay, so fabulous. Right, from here, we are going to make a platform. So I'm going to put my feet on the chairs this time. I'm going to put them together so there's enough room. And I'm going to lie on the floor. This time when I lie on the floor, I'm going to make sure that my hips are up to the sky and just my heels are on the floor. I'm going to go this way so you can see me a bit easier. So I'm going to lie down, I'm going to press my hips off the floor, and I'm going to do 10 leg kicks with my right leg. Fabulous. So as you can see, I've had to use my hips to keep them off the floor, stretching out the back of my hamstring. I'm going to swap over and do the other leg this time. So again, make sure that you keep the legs tight. Try not rock over. Arms out the ears, not doing anything. Fabulous. Okay, exercise 2 done. So I've done 10 on each leg. I would really tend to do that one again because we're going to do something similar but in the other direction. So this time we're going to go to the wall. So I'm going to use my wall that's just here. So I'm going to try and rotate you slightly so you can see it. Here we are. So I'm going to go over to my wall this time. This time what we're going to do is a pin stand. So I'm looking at doing my splits but against the wall. It's going to keep one leg flat on the floor, hands as close to the floor as possible, and then put my back leg up on the wall. So I'll quickly show you. So I'm going to back leg up in the wall and press my hips towards the wall. Easy peasy. Good, now you can see that I'm quite a wee bit far away from the wall. My heel's not banging close. My foot's about a ruler's length away from the wall, and I've got my back leg up as high as I can. Now, I'm going to adapt this slightly. I think what I'm going to use is I'm going to take my chair over. So if you're struggling to get your hands flat on the floor, bring your blocks over to the wall, pop them down, and press the back leg in this way. Okie doke. Or if you're wanting to up it a wee bit more, you can bring a chair over, and that way you can get your chest up a bit higher and stretch in this way and hold the stretch. Okay, doke. Obviously we've got 2 legs. I'm going to swap over. I'm going to stick my right leg back this time and push my hips in towards the wall. Out we come. Again, you can change it over if you want to, like me. So I'm going to go a bit closer to the floor and use my blocks. And then obviously blocks away and then try it with my hands flat on the floor. Good. So yes, hold those stretches for about 10 seconds each and that'll stretch off those legs nicely. Fabulous. Right, moving on to a similar split stretch. So again, I'm going to use my chairs. Again, if you've got a bed, use your bed. This time I'm just going to pop them right one in front of the other so that I can lie across them. So I'm going to put my head at the top, I'm going to lie down here and I'm going to do some back leg kicks. In fact, I don't want to kick my bed. I'm going to go up here. I'm going to hold on to the top of my chair. My hips are off and I'm going to kick the back leg as high as I can. Again, 10 of these. And then swing over to the other leg. Fabulous, and down we come. So that's 10 on each leg. All done, easy peasy. I think that was about 5 or so other split stretches we can do at home that I've given you. So again, if you're wanting to go through them again, rewind, go through them again, start again. If not, I'm going to move on anyway. And I'm going to look at box splits. So after I've done those stretches, in fact, what we'll do is we'll check our splits right now. So they should be stretched up a wee bit more. I'm just going to slide into my right leg splits. I'm going to check that I'm sitting in them a bit more comfortable. Back leg, pinky toes on the floor, front legs forwards. Shoulders facing forwards, not twisting around to the sides. Good, out we come. Let's check that other leg. Sitting back, trying to get that hip pressed into the floor. Pinky toe in the floor. Stretching forwards. Fabulous. Hopefully they will have improved slightly after all those lovely stretches. So, moving on, box splits. Again, we're going to screen check these. We're going to look at how far away we are from the floor. Take a picture if you want. Count how long you can hold it for. It's up to yourself. Cater it for you how you wish. So, roll it again. Here we go. 3, is it 3? Yeah, 3 roller exercises for box splits. Very similar to what we did for front and left and right legs, front splits. So again, front quads, back quads. This time when I'm doing the inside of my leg, I'm going to try and go more of in a froggy shape so I can go all the way down my leg. Oh my goodness, you can't see me, hold on. So I'm going to make sure that I start up here, right at the top, and I'm going to press the inside of my leg all the way out. It will roll all the way up. Start a bit further up this time and roll it all the way in the inside of my leg. Okie doke. So will we do this on both legs? If you've not got a roller, again, don't worry about it, but it's good to invest in. So moving on to box splits, we're going to go through our first stretch. We're going to sit in froggy for a few seconds and then give the box splits a try. After we've done that, I'm going to go through some exercises that we can do. So I'm going to move this chair out of the way. And I'm going to go into froggy. So again, knees on line if you can. Press the knees apart onto our elbows. So we're going to hold this for about 10 or so seconds. Good. And this time what I want you to do is we're going to pop our right leg out to the side. So our right leg's out to the side, but I want you to do 10 rocks. So I'm going to rock forwards and then rock back in the stretch. So I'm going to bring it, in fact, my left leg's in a wee bit further this time, so I can do more of a stretch. And I'm going to rock forwards and rock backwards. Lovely. And then pop that knee down, pop the other one out, and 10 rocks again. Lovely. Out we come. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my slider back again. So I'm going to use my cookbook. In fact, I'm going to get rid of my mat so it slides a bit better. So my book's beside me. I'm going to make a small platform for me to put my elbows on. So my elbows are going to go on this platform here. My left leg's going to be in froggy and my right leg's going to slide out to this side. And we're going to go down. Good. Out we come. Swap Mary Berry over to the other side. And pop my foot on this foot and slide it out. Good. Remember, we're trying to hold for as long as we can. Remember to breathe. Remember to relax. Good. And out we come. Fabulous. Don't need my block anymore, so I'm going to move them over to the side. I'm going to put Mary Berry back to where I can find her. Lovely. Right, this next stretch, we're just going to do some stretches out to the side to press our hips out more. So I'm going to pop my right leg up to about 2 o'clock on the clock, and I'm going to press down into that lunge. Good. Come back up. I'm going to swap over legs. Other one's out to about 10 o'clock now. Press forwards. Good. Visit the first leg again once more. And the other one. Good. Okay, out we come. Right, this next stretch, you're going to be lying on the floor. It's going to be called like a bit of a climber slide. So if you've got your slider handy, so Mary Berry for me, we're going to lie on our tummy. So what we're going to do is lie on the tummy, and I'm going to pop Mary Berry under my right knee. And what I'm going to do with her is I'm going to use her to slide all the way up to the side. So I look like I'm climbing up a wall like Spider-Man. And then go back down again. So we're going up as high as we can. And then sliding back down. There we go. Come on, Mary. Up to the side. Maybe use something that's a bit lighter. Mary Berry's a bit heavy. And sliding back down. I'm going to swap over. Go to the other knee. So my other leg's just sliding, keeping still on the floor, sorry. And Mary is sliding up the sides. And then back down again. And then just come back up. So again, I would do this maybe like 5 or 6 times. And feel the stretch up the inside. Lovely. Thank you, Mary. Out she goes. Okay, last exercise we're going to do, I'm going to use my chair just to hold on to, a bit like a ballet bar, and we're going to do some leg swings. So I'm going to pop her down in front, chair down in front of me. I'm going to put my hands on it, just to make sure I've got enough room, sorry guys. And I'm going to swing the leg up to the side and across. So again, about 10 of these. I'm on a creaky floorboard, sorry. Good, and then we'll do the other leg. Lovely. And pop this away. Good. Right, obviously you can use your blocks. I'm going to use my block here to do an over split with my right leg. So again, you can do this the same with front and left leg splits. Put my blocks to the side. I'm going to put my foot up on it. Other foot out to the side. And slide down. Hold the stretch down on the elbows if you can. If you're like me and trying to get your hips to turn under, I'm going to go up on my hands. Out we come. Swap it over. Other leg. Foot up on it. And we slide. And out we come. Lovely. So yes, take a picture of your box splits. Have a look at them. Count how long you're wanting to hold them for. Maybe focus on trying to get your hips in line, pressing the knees out, staying in a nice long shape and getting close to the floor as you can. So then a few more exercises we've done with using equipment for splits. I'm going to move on and I'm going to look at our shoulders now. So again, using bits of equipment. This time for shoulders, you're not really, well, we're trying to make our shoulder flexibility like maintained. So keeping open shoulders is really important in gymnastics, especially for stretching and presentation. So I'm going to look at, again, some roller exercises. So if you've got your roller handy, grab it. So this one here, you're going to look at stretching more of your chest muscle and across the inside of your arm. So I'm going to put the roller on the floor and I'm going to roll it all the way up to the top and all the way back down. Good. Making sure that you get all the way up to your armpit and across to your top of your chest. You could roll at the top a few times. Again, about 60 or so seconds to roll your arm in your chest, swap over, do the other arm. So there's some roller exercises for you. If not, grab your rope. So if you've got a rope, you can use a belt, you can use a scarf, you can use the rope from your dressing gown like me. But what we're going to do is pause if you have to and get it. If not, stand up on your feet. And we're going to do over and over the back and over the front, holding on to the rope. So I've got about a foot. And I'm going to go over the top, keep my arms straight and go back down again. I'll go on my knees so you can see how straight my arms are, but you can stay on your feet. They're coming all the way up and all the way down. So my arms aren't bending. One arm isn't going over than the other, so we're not swimming. We're going over two at the same time and two at the same time. If it's easy, we move the hands closer together. We go up and we go over. Making sure both arms are going over at the exact same time, not one then the other. Let's do 3 or 4 more, just to stretch that bit of our shoulder, like right under our armpit. Over a wee bit more. 1 more. Fabulous. Right, now we're going to stretch our shoulders. I'm going to do a bit of a downward dog pose, but I'm not going to worry about my legs. So I'm going to go my hands and knees. I'm going to put my 2 hands flat on the floor. I'm going to make sure I'm pressing the weight between my top pointed finger and my thumb. So that's where the weight's going to go through. Tuck my toes under, keep my knees bent and press my shoulders down towards the ground. Good, keep the elbows tight, press through and then come back again. Let them rest off a wee bit. I'm going to do it 2 more times. So back and press the shoulders down. Elbows tight. Pressing the shoulders through towards your toes. And back down again. And we're just going to go once more. Pressing down, back. And back we come. Good. Let's stick with this stretch. Let's pop our knees on our bottom on our feet. Hands now right underneath shoulders, nose through towards the mat. Again, tight elbows. And you feel the stretch right underneath the shoulder, along your lat muscles. Good. If that's easy, walk your knees back a wee bit this time and press the armpits into the floor. Good. Make sure that your hands aren't too wide. So I've not got my hands in the corners of my mat. I've got my hands right underneath where my shoulders would be. And I'm pressing down into the ground. Trying to get my chest as close to the floor as possible. Beautiful. Right, let's move on from this one. We're going to use my chair. And you can hold something when you do this one if you want. If not, you can just pop your, I normally just pray, so I put my hands together. I'm going to pop my elbows on the chair, walk my knees back, and press them down. Good. Try not rest your head on it. Try and just open the shoulders out. And then come back up again. This time I'm going to move back a wee bit this time. Hold on and try and press them that wee bit more into the floor. And out we come. Lovely. Good. Give your arms a wee roll over, stretch them off a wee bit. And bring them forwards. Lovely. Okay, so let me check my notes. What we're doing next? What will we do next? Good question, Laura. Right, let's go with this. So we're going to go for a table shape. You can walk when you do this one if you want. If not, you can just stay put. I'm going to have my fingers facing up the back of my mat, my feet underneath, and I'm going to press my hips up the way. You feel this stretch around, really quickly, this area here. Pop the hands down, up and hold. Hold the stretch for about 10 seconds. Remember to breathe. Down we come. Let's go up once more. On we go. And down we come. Lovely. So that stretches around the front of our shoulder muscles there. We're just going to stretch over the front to stretch the other side of it. And the other arm. Good. Once more. And once more on the other arm. Lovely. Okay, we're going to lie on the floor now, and we're going to try and stretch these shoulders off a wee bit more. So I'm lying on the floor, and I've got my arms above, like my hands underneath my chin, but my elbows out to the sides. And all I want you to do is lift your arms as high as you can, armpits off the floor as much as you can. So we'll do it with bent arms to begin with. Stretch them up. And put them back down again. Let's go again. And lift. And down you go. This time you're really making sure that you keep your forehead on the mat the whole time. But I'm going to straighten my arms this time. So, forehead on the mat. And we're going to lift and hold. Ready? On we go. And down we come. Give it a go again. Here we go. And down we come and relax. Good. Right, I think I've only got dun, 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 dun. Yeah. 4 more exercises to go. So let's stand up on our feet for this one. We're going to clasp our hands behind our back. My feet are in a star shape. I'm going to fold over and let my hands come all the way over the top. Good. Again, keep the knees soft so you don't feel too much of a stretch up your hamstrings. But let them slowly go down towards the floor. Let gravity do its job. Good, and up we come. Give them a wiggle. Let's try once more. And fold over. Good. Remember, after you've been upside down for a while, take your time standing back up again. Pop your hands back down, then slowly stand up. Bringing your head up last. Good. Okay, so 3 more to go. I'm lying. This time what we're going to do is we're going to go for the praying up the back. So I'm going to turn around so you can see me. We're going to pop our 2 hands together and my fingers are facing down towards the carpet. I'm going to turn them under, so my pinkies are now like on the middle of my spine, and I'm going to try and wriggle them up my back as high as I can, but keeping the contact between my thumbs together and the heels of my hands. Now, I'm not very good at this stretch, but what we're trying to do is pull your hands and elbows back so you've got wee wings like a wee duck. Tuck your wings under. You feel the stretch up your wrist and around the front of your shoulders. Pop them back down, give them a wiggle. Let's try once more. So, again, heel of the hands in contact, thumbs as close together as you can. And pop them together. Pull the elbows back, wing your elbows, wing them back, and hold the stretch. Lovely. Down we come. Give them a wiggle. Right, 2 exercises to go. This next exercise, you're going to need the wall. So we're going to go over to the wall. Again, this is going to attack that inside bit of your arm, just under here. I'm going to go in a hands and knees position, and I'm going to put my right arm up on the wall and press my shoulder in towards the wall. So I've got this action here going. Good, you can turn your hand round to turn it to face the outside to feel a different stretch. Hold for a few seconds. Good, down we come. Swapping sides. So this time my left arm's going up towards the wall. Pressing my shoulder in towards the wall. So my arms get as much contact with the wall as possible. Turning my hand round. Other to face out the way. And a stretch. And out we come. Lovely. Right, one last one to go. Shoulder splits the finishes. So we are trying to keep the pinkies intact when our hands are behind us. Walking our bottom forwards or sliding our hands back, it's up to you. If you want to use a slider, use a slider. If you don't, it's totally up to you to understand it. It can be quite nippy on the elbows. So my fingers are together. I'm going to put them back as far as I can first. So walking them back, my pinkies are together. Now I'm going to pop my feet down and I'm going to pull my bottom in towards my heels. Or walk them forwards. Good. Make sure you've got your head up high. I'm going to bring my knees up for some added weight to my shoulders. You can even straighten your legs to get a bit more weight in the shoulders. And bring the knees in. Last time, let's do 5 seconds looking up to the ceiling. And out we come. Oh, that's a nippy one. Well done. Good. Right, that is all my stretching done for today. I know there was loads of them, but again, you can go back and look at them if you wish. You can do just a few of them, you can do all of them. It's completely up to yourself. Next week, my plan is to do a few more like motion stretches. So it's going to be like a whole body one, where we're going to maybe do a few more sequences. So you can maybe think about, maybe you're going to set a sequence that you're going to do after all your Zoom classes. So that's what I'm going to look at for next week. But until then, have a lovely weekend and I will see you next week. Well done. Bye.